How about now? Can you hear me? Wait, actually, wait. How about now? Can you hear me? Okay, wait. So now you can hear me. Let me try something again. Can you still hear me now? Okay, you say you heard me double. And what about now? Can you hear me? Right now it's perfect? I gotcha. All right. I want to, one second. I don't understand. What about now? Yeah, what about now? Can you hear me double or it's still like it's fine? Cause no double, whatever the fuck that means. Well, Buxy, I mean that's nothing I can do about that. But as long as you can hear me, good, bro. I guess I don't know. I am gonna have to leave it like that for now because I don't understand. Perfect, thank you. I guess I won't touch this, whatever the fuck I'm touching, ever again until I have like a fucking professional looking at it because this is very frustrating. Regardless, another day, another Stephanie Soo reaction video. I have to remind myself to cut the beginning of this video on YouTube so that it's not weird. But yeah, I'm probably gonna forget anyway. Sorry. Watching another reaction video while I do my makeup, and then I'm gonna come back later tonight to play video games. And so it is what it is. Let's get this started. Today I'm watching 1 hour. 100 women kept as slave in human egg farm for egg harvesting, and I just need to do something real quick. Um. Oh. Oh. Oh well. Sorry, I was supposed to do something later after this stream, and it was just cancelled. So that means that I can watch a longer video. Ooh, because there's been some interesting video lately that I've been wanting to watch. Well, I don't know about wanting to know, but I can't stop myself to not watch them. So, regardless, TikTok employee. I guess I'm gonna watch this one. It looks absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely terrifying. Disgusting, terrifying, and whatnot. So I guess that's what I'm gonna do today. Watching another reaction of Rotten Mango. Let's do this. I swear to God, human beings
Bada bing, bada
are
boom.
the worst.
Allison's a few years old, and she already sleeps really well in her own room every single night. Her parents put so much effort in trying to make this room cute for her so that she actually wants to sleep in there at night. They have those giant letters that spell out her name on top of her bed, Alison, and she loves that. That's her favorite part of her room. And every single night, she never complains. She goes to her closet, she checks inside her closet. There's no monsters. She checks under her bed. There's no monsters. Which, I mean, if someone is like, Daddy, there's monsters under my bed, it's creepy, but it's still understandable considering she's 3 years old.
No,
But
it's not.
Allison has
I called The
zero
Exorcist.
complaints. Until one night, Allison's parents are passing by their daughter's door, and they hear this man's voice. And they freeze, like mid-hallway, because what the hell is that? They stop, they listen, and they hear it again. Allison is supposed to be asleep. She has no screens in her room. Nobody's in the house. They don't have guests over. And they have never even heard this voice before at all. And it just says, "Wake up, Allison, you little..."
What?
Who the hell is talking to their 3-year-old like that?
What?
They slam open Allison's door, and they're checking everywhere. They're checking the closet, the window, under the
Is it
bed, the
the
bathroom.
baby
And
cam?
Allison is getting confused. Like, what is going on all of a sudden? And all they see is the camera, the baby cam, pointed directly at them.
Yeah, I
They
heard
just
about
moved.
these.
And it says, "To
Bruh.
Allison's mom." And
Okay.
then
Yeah.
nothing. That's it. The voice is gone. There are multiple different websites that you can go on. You click the first link, and it feels illegal to even be on here. You feel like you're on the FBI's radar. You are suddenly inside of somebody's living room, watching the homeowner sit on the couch. They're knitting. They're periodically glancing at the TV and knitting. And you're like, do they know that I'm watching this right now? The next camera you click is CCTV footage outside of someone's house. Again, do they know that I can see
Oh,
this right now?
you can hack
The
those.
next one, you're like, okay, they definitely don't know. It's somebody's bedroom. It's their closet.
Rodrigo,
It's their
don't
bathroom.
start.
It's
Holy
the
fuck,
mall.
bro.
There's public places like gyms,
I don't care. Do whatever the fuck you want.
schools, prisons, women's health clinics. And then finally, there are tons and tons of videos of private bedrooms with live footage of sleeping babies.
It's gotta be super illegal, right?
It's
Yes.
questionable. A lot of these websites are not illegal because they are accessing unencrypted video cameras, like unsecured video cameras. If you get a home security system and you don't change the password, technically, anyone could really access that. Just know any security camera where you can access it on your phone, so can anybody else, if they really try. So
Ah!
there are websites that will just broadcast these unprotected home security cameras online. So it's kind of gray area of, is it really illegal? Is it not
It
illegal? Because
should
if you look
be.
at these websites, it's weird.
It
Some
should
people
be
who browse
illegal.
these websites daily, they explain, well, it's not that I'm a creep.
You
It's
are.
just like, I'm lonely. I'm lonely and I want to be around people, and this is the most natural way to be around that. Which is fine if you're watching like the live footage of Times Square, but to
Yeah.
watch somebody else in their living room is kind of weird. I would call a therapist. I would call a police officer. But they continue. There's
Same.
also this weird paranoia that if I keep clicking and watching different cameras, I'm gonna pop up on there.
What does that mean?
They feel like the more they click, one day it's gonna show them on the screen. It's like this fear that it's gonna be you next. So they keep
Bruh.
clicking and trying to make sure that they're not on these websites. They say it's a very interesting feeling. It's a mixture of complex feelings. But I will say that some of the darker ones, they really focus on baby cams. Live
Like, I don't
footage of baby
understand.
cams. Now, I imagine that this is probably illegal, but Jamie didn't know that. Jamie's a mom, and she just knows that her baby cam has this really cool feature where you can go on your phone and you can make the baby camera move. You can make it look right, you can make it look left. Just swiping on your phone, it'll turn the camera, the point of view. It scans the entire room. I'm assuming it's a really good convenience feature. But she wakes up Wednesday morning, and the camera is pointed not at the crib in her room, but it's pointed at her on the bed that she shares with her husband. And she's like, why is the camera pointed at me? She
Ew.
doesn't remember setting it like that. Maybe her husband is at work and is wondering what my beautiful wife is up to. Is she up out of bed? He moved the camera and then forgot to move it back. Regardless, she's like, not a big deal. She gets up, starts her day. At dinner, Kevin, her husband, comes home. And it's just the three of them, Jamie, Kevin, and the baby. And they're sitting there and she gets this alert. Ding! Baby monitor being adjusted. The camera is moving. And she looks at Kevin. She looks at Kevin's phone that is on the table. He's not even touching his phone. She opens up the baby cam app and she sees in real time the camera is slowly moving to pan across the room. It stops and it points directly at the armchair that she sits on. And this armchair is where she breastfeeds her son every single day. Then it scans to the adult bed. I guess once they realize that nobody is there, it goes back to the bassinet, the crib where the baby sleeps. Jamie's looking at Kevin. Did you change the position of the camera earlier today?
Bruh.
He's like, well, what are you asking me right now? Did you change the position of the camera earlier today to point at the bed? He's like, no, I didn't even check the camera all day today because you were home all day. Jamie runs into the bedroom. She unplugs the camera and starts calling the police. You gotta help me. Someone hacked into my baby cam. She tries to log
Jumbo
into her baby
Camel.
camera app and gets
Bonjour.
restricted
Thank you for the
because
follow.
insufficient permissions. She can't even get into her own account anymore. And the police tell her, well, you're not the first one that's called us about this.
Okay.
Things like this happen quite frequently.
Can you do something
And
about it?
there's
Hello?
not really anything we can do about it.
Of course. That's what the police love to say. There's nothing we
Another
can do about it.
netizen said, I was changing my daughter's diaper, and I just had this feeling. You know when you're outside, you feel like someone's staring at you, and you look, and they're staring at you? I had that in my house, but I was alone. So I looked around, and then all of a sudden I hear this voice, that's a really poopy diaper,
Bruh.
coming out of the baby cam.
Bruh.
Not just
Ah,
watching,
why
they
are people the way they are?
Yes.
hacked your system
Yes.
and is messing with you now.
Yeah.
That is
A lot
Crazy.
of creepy people will be hacking baby cameras, but that's not even the creepiest thing that you can find on a baby cam.
Oh, wait. I can see my alert on the Restream app, so I can. Wait, give me a sec. Give me a sec. 'Cause I don't know what you're redeeming right now.
It can get so much worse. A Chinese American
Rodrigo, dream. Bro, stop redreaming stuff, Rodrigo. Stop redeeming anything. While I'm trying to watch something. You can redeem when I play video games. But right now, no.
couple in San Francisco, Dina and Tim. These are pseudonyms, by the way. They wish to remain anonymous. They open up the old footage from their baby camera, like the ones at night.
I'm not
when the baby
mean.
is sleeping in her room, and they press play.
No,
Are you so
okay,
old?
I'm gonna have to pause it again. Rodrigo is my mod, and he likes to troll. So sometimes I just have to like make sure that he doesn't do some dumb shit. But you can redeem whatever you want, Trumbo. Although I do need to cut the sound just because I also stream on YouTube, and so on YouTube they don't get the notification, but they can hear the sound. So yeah, it's fine. I said give me a second. I actually need to fix the sound for the alert because it's too loud actually. So yeah, other than that, it's okay. Uh, I don't know if I fixed it. I suck at anything that is linked to freaking handling the way any of these apps work, which is why you exist, Rodrigo, mind you. No, hello, cat. I'm busy right now. Not now. Stop it.
Is it like
What?
Like a few weeks old.
oh,
Because they noticed some things were
Mm.
off and they just wanted to check the footage, make sure that nothing had happened. And they go into weeks old footage and they press play and they have this gut feeling it's going to be bad, but it's so much worse. This is the worst thing that they have ever seen in their entire lives. They click open the file, it's at night, makes everything creepier. It's black and white, and everyone's eyes in the rooms are glowing. So if you walk into the room on the camera, your eyes look like raccoon eyes. It doesn't help the situation. The camera is pointed from the corner of the room. So inside you see this queen-size bed, a small crib right next to the queen-size bed, as well as some desks and
Too much
some
hair.
other storage organization shelves in the room. It's just like a basic room. They press play, and they see this 56-year-old woman standing at the edge of the bed, at the bottom of the adult-sized queen-size bed. She's holding their newborn in her arms.
Do they know
Maybe
her?
like a few days old. And the baby is peaceful. And the woman is just standing there peacefully. It almost looks like she's zoning out. Then out of nowhere, she pulls the baby up and throws the baby like a football onto the bed with so much force, the baby bounces off of the mattress and lands on the very edge of the mattress. So it's like bouncing on the bed because she's chucking that baby at the bed so hard.
a few days old, you said?
Yeah, like 4 days old. The baby starts crying. The baby started
Bro!
crying before. The baby starts crying now.
Is there audio too?
Yes. And the woman is silent. She has no facial expressions. She doesn't look angry. She doesn't look crazy. She doesn't, just nothing. She's just got a blank face.
Oh, what
The
the?
woman walks over very calmly, like a robot, and starts grabbing the blanket on the bed and shoving it into the baby's mouth and then pressing down on
Oh.
the baby and
Oh,
strangling the
oh,
baby.
oh, oh, oh,
Dina and
oh.
Tim are shaking because that's their baby in the video. That's their baby. And that woman is the freaking devil. They click the next video. They see the same woman standing above the baby's crib, their baby, and the baby is peacefully sleeping. The woman
He's
starts
still alive?
it on the sides. Again, her face is like empty. There's no anger, there's no enjoyment on her face.
Is this a different day?
A different night. Just empty face, smacking the baby side to side. Baby wakes up, naturally starts crying. The woman grabs the edge of the blanket, shoves it in the baby's mouth, and starts pressing down on the head.
Oh
And
my
then she grabs
God.
both of her hands and starts pressing the baby into the crib like she's kneading a really hard, large batch of dough or clay. Like it's incredibly rough. She's putting her body weight into her hands. She uses her hand to cover the entire baby's face because this baby is a few days old. The face is tiny.
Oh my
And
God.
she can't breathe anymore. The baby can't breathe. She stops crying. Only then does the woman give one more strong push before walking away from the crib. As she's walking away from the crib, the baby starts crying.
Well,
Because that makes sense. The woman walks back, grabs the baby by the blanket. So, you know, babies have to be swaddled when they're really young because their arms can't be free. So you wrap them in like a blanket burrito. She grabs one side. Now the baby is probably standing, I want to say like a foot a foot and a half off the mattress of the crib.
Uh,
And she's holding the
I don't
baby
know if I
over
can
the
hear
crib.
that.
And she grabs one piece of the blanket and unrolls it, letting the baby roll, and then boom, land on the crib.
Free fall into the crib.
Yeah. Eventually, the woman takes the baby into her bed, the queen-size bed, and starts shoving more blankets into the baby's mouth until the baby stops crying. What's very interesting is when you watch through this footage, there are moments where the baby is not crying, and she will force the baby to cry by either roughly smacking its swaddle or by shaking it with so much force, and then she will enact this crazy violent outburst against the baby. This is the since viral case of the most evil nanny in San Francisco, and how she is now currently free and evading the law.
Wait, what? Free? What do you mean? What do you mean? That's crazy. Oh, hell no.
We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They focus on finding missing children, reducing child exploitation, and the prevention of child victimization. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and we'd also like to thank you guys for your continued support. I would like to say that I was suffering with laryngitis recently, so my voice sounds different. I'm so sorry. Hopefully it gets better. But as always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. And a brief disclaimer before we get started. Today's case involves very graphic descriptions of abuse on a newborn child. If that is understandably too much, if you feel overwhelmed, please take a break. We will see you in the next episode. So with that being said, let's get into it. TikTok was banned for, I think, 24 hours? Was it like, yeah, it was a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
And everyone was figuring out, where are we supposed to go? Like, where on earth are we wanted as people who doom scroll on TikTok on a daily basis, myself included? And at first people thought, well, the natural migration would be to Instagram. I guess like the Reels, right?
Then there was Red
Maybe
Note.
there. Others thought, remember when Vine disappeared, it was all to YouTube? What if
Mhm.
it's like that? Which, side note, Americans collectively decided an enemy of my enemy is a friend of mine.
Yeah, Red
So
Note.
they were thinking, who else hates the US government other than Americans? Perhaps China. So within a day or two, they don't go to Instagram. We don't go to YouTube. We went to the most downloaded app in the US called Red Note. 小红书. 小红书?
小红书.
It's
小红书?
actually like Little Red Book, I think is the more proper translation, but nevertheless, I am obsessed with Red, by the way. I had my husband download it for me for like a year or two ago, and it's been wild to wake up one day
Ugh.
and just see it filled with a bunch of Americans, all on Red, all of a sudden. I mean, the top comments are Americans leaving comments on Chinese netizens' posts of their day in their lives, and they're saying, I'm here to reunite with my Chinese spy. And then to which Chinese netizens have come to comment, give me your data, finger gun, finger gun. Chinese students have posted their English homework online, on Red, for Americans to help them, which results in them failing because Americans are never taught proper grammar, apparently. And we can't even teach a non-English
That's
speaker
crazy.
English. It's
That's
kind of
crazy.
But right before, that is what Red Note was known for. There was another big case in China and America involving Red Note and TikTok. It is the Bay Area, California nanny case. In the Bay Area, this is around San Francisco, there's this small suburban home. And there's a woman who is sticking her head out the window. And she's shoving her phone out the second floor window, recording every single person in the driveway. And there's a row of people in the driveway. And they're staring proudly back at her, like, you're recording me? Okay, fine, record me. And they're spraying the words baby abuser all over her garage doors.
Oh, how many people outside?
Like a good handful of this random place. And there's still remnants of eggshells on her driveway from when her house was egged. I mean, the woman that everyone is calling a baby abuser is an alleged higher up at TikTok.
TikTok.
TikTok, the company. And all of this leads back to a series of posts made on the app Red Note. It's getting crazy, okay? Dina and Tim are on Red Note, and they're looking for a Chinese-speaking nanny, but in America. They live in San Francisco. but they're on the Chinese app and they want a Chinese nanny who lives in San Francisco. And they're on this like months and months in advance. They know the due date. They've already gotten all the clothes, the paperwork, all the essentials, and now they're just waiting to give birth and find a nanny. Dina's not really in a rush, which is why she starts looking so early on. She just wants to make sure that she can find a nanny that she fully trusts. She's skipping through all the nannies that are posting on the Red app, the Chinese app, until she comes across one where the caption reads, San Francisco postpartum nanny recommendation. The main picture you see is this huge spread of food, freshly steamed shrimp, ladyfingers, soup, eggs, dumplings. I mean, the food looks really clean and it's all homemade and it's all beautifully laid out on the table. The original poster is, she's not the nanny. She goes on to rave about the nanny. She said, I used this nanny for my very first pregnancy and she's just so gentle. She's experienced, but also incredibly competent and capable. On top of that, the nanny is actually my neighbor's mom. So it's like someone I can trust, which, obviously helps.
And the photo of the food, I'm assuming it's the nanny's cooking.
Yeah.
So she's showing off what she
Yes.
can make.
And how helpful she is. And she's saying, well, this is, pretty much a referral, if you will. The person that posts this referral on RedNote,
Is the nanny?
she works as the hiring recruiter, talent acquisition at TikTok.
Oh.
I believe she's the head of talent acquisition. So a hiring recruiter will go out and they will manage the team of people that hire people. So they'll facilitate the interviews, look for the recommendations, I guess facilitate the background checks. Talent acquisition, they actually are more network based. So they will find ways to make TikTok a more marketable company for employees because you're trying to attract the top talent. If you're the top talent in your field, why would you go to TikTok over Meta versus all these other tech brands?
Yeah.
So you're trying to facilitate the best environment and the best, I guess, comp package and make it amazing for people who want to work for TikTok. It's a pretty big deal. I think the average salary for talent acquisition in big tech companies, probably base is like $200-300 a year.
Holy shit.
That's a lot. So Dina DMs the original poster, and her name is Christina. And she asks, hey, can we talk on the phone or at least like text? I just want to know more about the nanny and about the experience that you had working with the nanny. She gets on the phone and she's explaining to Dina, yeah, it's interesting because I'm actually pregnant, just like you. Yeah. So I was going to use the nanny again, and because it went so well the first time. I loved her for my first pregnancy. But the reason that I'm not is because I think I might be going back to China to give birth. So I booked her originally, and then I canceled on her. So I felt so bad, and that's why I made that referral post on Red, because she really is a great nanny. I mean, I would definitely have used her again, but again, I'm going to China. So after talking to Christina, Dina's like, okay, you know what? I feel good about this nanny. And also it helps because it's not the nanny that's posting about her own services. It's another Bay Area mom who already used her. She feels good about it.
Yeah.
So she books the nanny for 3 months, and it is $10,000 a month. Okay, I'll explain in a second because that's a lot of money, but it'll be worth it because this woman is not a regular nanny.
Oh.
September 2024.
I mean, outside of being a fucking baby abuser.
Baby H. And she's
Wait, $10,000 a month. Rich people.
So relieved that she's found a nanny months ahead of time because, first of all, baby H comes early and she's on the smaller side. She's like 5 pounds. She's tiny. Dina had a lot of complications during labor. Labor was so rough. Dina's epidural didn't take well, so they had to keep dosing her with more pain meds. She
5
said,
pounds sounds very, very light.
yeah.
Is that, what's the average? Like 10?
Oh, I think like 7.
7. Oh,
But
okay.
5 is really light because my niece came early and she was a little heavier than 5 too.
Okay.
Yeah, so she said it caused severe back pain because of all the epidurals. The doctors told her it's going to take you a lot longer to fully recover compared to your previous labor situation. This is her second child. And she's having some pretty alarming postpartum bleeding.
Oof.
Some bleeding is normal, but this is, you just have to keep an eye out because this feels like it could be a problem.
Oh, gosh.
It's fine. They send her home with baby H, but they have to be super diligent. They got to monitor the whole situation. It doesn't help that Tim is working. They've got so much going on. Dina's in pain. Baby H came early. There's a lot, and the only thing that's saving them is that they got a nanny. Like, good thing they got a freaking nanny. And the post on Red that they originally saw, it was talking about how this nanny has 5 years of experience and she has this almost obsessive level of cleanliness. She needs everything to be clean, which for the most part, the first few days that she comes, Dina and Tim are like, oh yeah.
Okay, so she, so a nanny and a home cleaner?
Nanny Lu shows up. She's 56. She's this very maternal looking Chinese lady. She's on time, immediately starts going to work. She's very diligent, and it does feel like she's done this quite often. She keeps asking the parents, you have to install baby cams in the room. You have to monitor the app in the room. And how do I monitor the app? Because if I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking or I'm doing something, I gotta make sure that I can keep an eye on the baby.
Wow.
Yeah, and the parents take her phone, and they can't download the freaking app because she has a Huawei phone, which is a Chinese phone that's banned in America.
Oh yeah,
So they're
Huawei.
like, okay, why
I
don't
used to
you
have
just
one
use our iPad?
for the
We'll
longest
download
time.
it on the iPad. You can watch on the iPad. She's like, okay, thank you. The next day, she wakes up in the morning, and the nanny looks stressed. Dina and Tim are like, what's wrong? Why are you so stressed? What's going on with the baby? She's explaining, no, nothing's wrong with the baby. It's just, I woke up to feed the baby in the middle of the night, but I can't remember if it was 2:30 in the morning or 3 in the morning. I feel like it was 2:30, because I was trying to keep a log, but I guess I was tired. I forgot to write it down. Could you guys check the camera and see what time it was?
Was the camera the nanny's suggestion? They installed it?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's wild.
So a lot of nannies actually want cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for this
Oh,
case,
yeah.
though.
And she's like, can you check the camera to
Mhm.
see if I fed the baby at 2:30 in the morning or at 3 in the morning?
Yeah, this is crazy premeditation. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much thinking.
Like,
So hold on to
why?
And she's like, because right now I'm cooking and I can't remember what time it was.
Yeah.
And if you're like, why is the nanny cooking? Let me explain. She is a Chinese confinement nanny.
What does
This
that
is
mean?
also very common in Korea, and that's probably why she gets paid around $10,000 a month. It is the pretty accurate belief that the human body needs to recover heavily after giving birth.
Yes.
And in China and in places like Korea, they take it very seriously. Obviously, we should take it seriously in America, but I don't know, the way it's set up, you barely get maternal leave, right? The new mothers will typically be confined to their house for 30 days straight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes you can't even. Yeah, you have to.
You can't leave the house for 30 days.
I would go
You
crazy.
have to only
Just
eat
kidding, I do that all the
nutritious,
time.
warm meals. You can't let your body be cold. So you can't eat cold food. You can only eat foods that warm you up. Like papaya is a big one. And you need to help aid with your milk production. They're not even technically, if you do it the old school way, you're not even technically allowed to shower for 30 days.
Oh, hell no.
Because you're washing away immunity and you're going to get sick and
Okay,
you're
yeah,
gonna be
no.
cold.
Nah.
I think most Koreans don't take it as seriously, but we will only eat like byeokguk, seaweed soup, for like 30 days. And because this is nearly impossible to do, a lot of people in the US will hire a confinement nanny. So like a
Damn.
lot of Chinese parents, Korean parents. And it's very different from a regular nanny. A regular nanny, their focus is on the baby.
Yeah.
They're not cooking food unless it's for the baby, right? It's already pre-established. Confinement nannies, all they care about is the person who gave birth and the baby.
Wow.
The partner, other kids, we don't care about you. You are nobody to this confinement nanny.
Well, damn.
Confinement nannies, if they're really good, they will typically protect the mother from everybody else.
Oh,
If
wow.
the mother-in-law comes in and is like, why aren't you doing this? The confinement nanny is like, hey lady, get your ass out of here. If the husband is like, where's my dinner? The confinement nanny is like, hey, go sleep outside. It's very intense.
Have you seen those?
Yes.
Like you just go there for like a few months after giving birth.
Mhm.
They will really take care of you all day, all night, and
Yeah.
the baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
Spa,
It's
recovery center.
It's
What?
crazy. They're
That
drying
sounds
your hair
amazing.
after your shower because you can't get cold. They're preparing ginger baths because ginger is supposed to help your body retain heat. And because they cost typically around $10,000 a month,
Yo.
you really want to make sure that your confinement nanny is the perfect one.
Clearly.
Now, obviously, I don't know if it costs $10,000 all across the U.S. San Francisco is probably on the more expensive side.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
a big
would
city.
maybe guesstimate 5 to 10 on average, right? A few days into being in the house, Dina's like, maybe I did pick the right confinement nanny because she's asking me if she fed the baby at 2:30, 3 in the morning. She wants me to check the cameras so that she can log it down. I mean, she's got this whole paper of when that baby was fed. But then she tells the nanny, oh, we don't have the playback feature yet because we just installed these cameras and we have to sign up for the subscription. There's a problem with it. Anyway, right now we can only see it live, but we can't play back. It doesn't record.
Oh,
What?
This is the worst mistake.
oh
Because
no.
this is a test
Oh
This is a
no.
by the nanny.
Oh.
Immediately after that, Dina and Tim, they're hyper alert about everything in that house. And they notice just the smallest thing, the nanny starts slacking off. She's not abusive or anything. She just seems like she's slacking a little bit, which they think, okay, maybe we're just being paranoid as new parents. Maybe she's tired. Maybe she's not having a good day. We're just hypersensitive and we want everyone to function at 110% because that's what parents want, right, for their baby. But she seems a lot less caring. That's just the feeling she gets. It's a very subtle shift. Dina asks her husband, you know that old camera we had in the room that's not a baby cam but is for security that we had in all the rooms just because when we were both at work we don't want anything to happen to the house? Do you still have that in there? He's like, oh yeah, I still have that. It's in the corner of the room. It's not, I don't think it's pointing directly at the crib, but do you want me to check it? She's like, yeah, could you check it?
Is this weeks later?
This is a few days later.
Okay.
So this does in fact record footage, and
The nanny didn't know that. Oh.
no.
Oh damn.
They didn't even focus on, because baby cams and security cams, I guess in their minds, they had completely separated the two.
Right.
Baby cams are typically pointed at the crib, and
Yeah.
and so they're like, okay, well, maybe we'll just check it. So they go through the previous night, a few minutes of the previous night.
Yeah.
And there's this one section where Tim is watching it. The baby starts crying. The nanny walks over and grabs the baby, a few days old at this point, grabs the baby and kind of shakes her a little bit because she's crying. But it's not a violent shake.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like she's going to have any health concerns. It just seems like, oh, please, why are you crying? You shake a baby rattle, come on, get it out of your system. But still not okay. It's not the most violent thing, but still absolutely not okay. She's being rough.
Okay.
So Dina and Tim, they confront her and they're like, hey, could you just be a little more gentle when you touch the baby? And immediately, the nanny is sobbing. She's breaking down on the floor and she's complaining about how exhausted she is at night. She wakes up so late at night. Her eyes hurt. Her back hurts. Money is not even the issue. Both her daughter and her son-in-law are high-ranking employees in Silicon Valley.
Oh, you mean Tim and...
No.
Wait, no. Oh.
She's saying her kids.
Oh.
So she doesn't technically need the
she's
money.
I'm not even doing this for money. I'm doing this because I love kids.
So she's a
And
psycho.
money's not the issue, but I'm just so exhausted right now. And they thought it was really weird. And she keeps explaining to them, I would never do anything inhumane. She says, it's not in my nature to ever harm a baby.
Okay.
Dina and
Fucking
Tim,
hope so.
they're comforting her because it's so strange, but there's also something about her reaction that irks them. It just rubs them the wrong way. Because why are you telling me that you would never do anything inhumane to a baby? I feel like that's baseline.
Yeah.
It's telling someone, I would never kill anyone. It's
Well, I fucking
I
hope
would
so.
assume that you would never kill anyone. It's very bizarre. So they start going through more of the old footage, and they see that she's a little bit more rough every single night. And they don't see the extent of the full footage. They just see glimpses, pieces, and parts.
So you're saying they're checking daily?
They're just going
back
through.
even more.
Yes, and they just see a few little moments where she's, again, being rough in a way that they don't like. It doesn't seem to be a one-time thing. They don't go through all the footage. They feel like, we've seen enough. We've seen a few clips. That's not what we want in our house. You're gone. Get out of here. You're not a good nanny. So they didn't see all the clips that I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah.
They just
Holy
see some
moly.
small, very rough, very, I would consider abusive, but they don't call the cops. They just say, get out.
So how long was nanny there for?
10 days.
Okay, so that's when they...
Yes.
She's gone.
She's gone. They fire the nanny. They kick her out. And the whole time she's packing her stuff, she's not even trying to question why they're kicking her out. She's not even asking, oh, can I get paid for the 10 days? Which they, again, think is very weird. Because if you genuinely feel like you didn't do anything wrong, you'd be like, why am I getting kicked out? Where's my payment? This is unfair. You booked me for 3 months. I could have booked other clients. Nothing. Just silence, and she leaves. And now they're just trying to focus on getting back to normal because it's a sudden change without a nanny. Dina's still recovering. Tim is taking care of her and the kids whilst working. And so finally, weeks pass. And then they're like, you know what? Just something about that nanny irks me. Now they're clear-minded. Things have gotten better. Dina's recovered. And she's like, let's go through all the footage. Dina cannot even handle looking at the footage.
Oh my God.
Tim said, I was sitting there watching, and each time the nanny even shows up on the baby cam, I had to mentally prepare myself.
Oh my God.
My heart would start racing. My hands could not even stay still while they're holding onto the phone. Sometimes when he sees the nanny in view, he just wants to squint his eyes because he knows what she's about to do to their baby. And
Is
he's
the
just
baby
sobbing
okay?
the whole time, wiping his tears, wiping the tears off
Night,
his
night,
face.
Rodrigo.
I will say that the footage is so violent. The footage is, I mean, people that don't even know Baby H like myself, no relation to Baby H, it's so hard to watch the footage. I think it's worse because it's very unexpected. There will be moments where the nanny is holding the baby in her arms, and it seems like she's kind of rocking the baby back and forth. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she chucks the baby across the room.
So this happened.
What do you mean
straight
across the
away,
room?
like the first night, second night?
Yeah.
Immediately?
Dina starts freaking out. She and Tim are both just trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do about this.
Yeah.
And then they reach out to the girl on Red Note that even posted about the nanny in the first place. She's not responding.
So I'm so sorry. So about the footage,
Yes.
what was it? Is it just constant, like every couple
night.
hours?
Yeah, every couple
Just
hours.
throughout the night, she would walk into the room and abuse the child, and then.
She sleeps in that room.
Oh.
So she sleeps on that queen-size bed, and the crib is next to her. Every time she has to do midnight feedings, throughout the night, and she has to comfort the baby when the baby is crying.
Right. But instead, she just like hurting the baby.
And then you'll see moments where she's bottle feeding the baby, and then she'll get up and she has to burp the baby. But she'll burp the baby so hard the baby starts crying, and then she'll start shoving blankets into the baby's mouth. So it doesn't even feel, not that abuse is ever logical, but it's not like this baby is crying, I'm at my wit's end. Not that that's okay. I'm not even, please, okay? But it's even scarier.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like she's trying to make the baby cry so that she can abuse the baby.
Bruh.
Okay.
It's very bizarre. This Red Note referral is not responding. At first, Dina and Tim are trying to reach out because, first of all, this lady is crazy and you need to help us get to the bottom of it. And second of all, she could have done this to your baby because you also used her as a confinement nanny. No response. So interestingly enough, they decide, why don't we try running her phone number? Because something about this feels wrong. She was pretty responsive, and now all of a sudden,
Oh, so
if
the
we tell
nanny
you,
posted
hey,
that.
The nanny you used for your baby is abusive, you wouldn't want to call me back immediately? That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense as a mother.
Yeah.
They run the phone number, and this girl that recommends the nanny on the app is not a random customer providing her 2 cents and a referral. She is the nanny's daughter. She's got the same last name, everything.
Whoa.
But nowhere in the post does it say, hey, this nanny is my mom. In fact, it says, this nanny is my
Yeah.
neighbor's mom. It's a flat out lie. It's not even an omission of the truth.
What the fuck?
Christina, the Red Note OP, the girl that recommends the nanny, the daughter of the nanny, she made it appear as if she has relatively zero incentive to promote this nanny other than perhaps her guilt for canceling on her. She made it appear to be the most natural referral process, just vouching for the nanny when it's her mom. It is alleged that she not only lied about that, but she helped her mom get a travel visa into the US from China. So her mom was living in China. She gets her into the United States on a tourist visa, which you're not allowed to work in the country on a tourist visa. But then she's setting her mom up to work in the country, allegedly, which is illegal. So once all of these little sick puzzles are coming together, Dina and Tim are messaging Christina nonstop. I wouldn't even say they're calling her out. They're being quite understanding. Even in their initial message, it's along the lines of, hello, I'm the mother who just fired your mother, Nanny Lou. I'm not sure if you're aware of the reason behind your mother being let go, but it was child abuse. We would like to arrange a face-to-face meeting with you to discuss this matter. There are some videos that might help you understand and make a judgment. We also want to discuss how to properly handle this situation moving forward. Thank you.
They didn't file a police report?
They do eventually. But they're basically reaching
Oh
out
my
to her
God.
to state, I don't even know if you know this about your mom. Like, I'm about to break some very harsh news to you.
I mean, she has to know.
Christina does not give a response. No response. So then they go to the police. They file a police report. The police tell them, we can't do anything because that woman is back in China.
Wow.
She allegedly left for China the night that she
Wow.
was fired.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The police can't help. Christina allegedly doesn't want to help. Dina and Tim decide, fine then. We're going to try and get them to help. We're going to go on Red Note. We're going to go on Douyin, which is Chinese TikTok, and we're going to tell everybody what happened so it doesn't happen to anybody else. Who knows? She could be in China right now trying to be a confinement nanny.
Mm-hmm.
So November of 2024, their social media post goes viral. It's a long post with pictures of the nanny's ID card along with her social media profile and a Google Drive with all the baby cam videos.
Oh.
And
Ooh.
they write, CA video, watch with caution. The nanny's name is Lou. She was recommended to us by another mother on Red Note in May of 2024. The other mother on Red Note said the nanny was her neighbor's mom and she had hired her for her first child. We contacted this Red Note referral and spoke to her on the phone to inquire about how the nanny was, and ultimately we decided on a 3-month schedule with the nanny. But instead, this is what happened. There's 9 clips inside the Google Drive. The video starts with a disclaimer. This video might be the most malicious maternity nanny in the world. Open carefully. This video is shocking. Warning, mothers with high blood pressure should be cautious.
Are you linking these in source notes or no?
I will. Just be very careful. Yeah. I'm not a mother. My sister saw the videos, and she said it kept her up for like 2 nights.
Well,
It's
yes.
very viscerally, you see it and you can't unsee it. And
I don't even
yeah,
want to
and
see
she's
it.
a mom of 2, so it was rough. The case blows up to the point where even if you type in the words Bay Area on Douyin and read for a while, and not anymore, but at that point, one of the first results was Bay Area abusive nanny.
Bruh.
Everybody starts sharing, resharing this video. And at first, I will say netizens' reactions were kind of mixed. A good chunk of netizens, they're busy commenting on the video itself because of just how visceral the image is. But a lot of netizens are also confused by baby H's parents, Dina and Tim.
Why?
They're attacking them, going, why didn't you immediately call the cops the night you fired her? When you found out that she was suspicious, why didn't you immediately investigate further? I'm so mad. Why don't you watch over your own baby? But other netizens post, they start going viral too. And they're also Bay Area moms, and they're commenting, that's the freaking nanny that we initially tried to hire. We interviewed her. One poster says, we saw the original post from Christina too, and we thought, okay, well, she sounds nice. We get to the phone call stage where I'm talking to the nanny on the phone. The way she spoke and the way she answered questions was quite unprofessional. And then compared to her resume, which was over the top and professional, it just felt like
Weird.
it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't hire the nanny. Another poster comes online to say, I almost hired her too. But the reason I didn't was, honestly, like it was a whole fight between her and her husband too, because it's kind of embarrassing. At the time, it seems stupid. We didn't hire her because I was going through her social media account and all of her pictures were heavily filtered and edited for a 56-year-old woman. Which, like, I know it's bad to just judge people like that, but compared to other professional nannies that were posting on Red Note, it just kind of felt weird. You know, most professional nannies were posting natural, unedited photos, at least on their professional account, to showcase their lives and what kind of person they are. But it was just weird.
I can understand that, actually.
You know, but my husband was like, give her a chance. We went to the phone interview, and that's when we noticed something more alarming. The original poster, Christina, mentioned that the nanny was from a big city, Beijing. This is like saying they're from New York. Right, cities in China are ranked as tiers. Beijing is a tier 1 city and quite literally the nation's capital. There is some stigma, unfortunately, of professionals from tier 1 cities might be considered, I guess, biased, more advanced, you know, because it's a tier 1 city, which is clearly a huge selling point. Otherwise, Christina wouldn't have even put it in the original post that she's from Beijing, right? But when this woman gets on the phone with the nanny, the only thing she's noticing is her thick northeastern accent. Nothing is wrong with that. There's actually a lot of tier 1 cities in the Northeast. It's just a random lie, it felt like. She was like, it's so random and weird. I guess it would be the equivalent of, instead of saying you're from Dallas or Austin or Atlanta, still massive cities, you're like, oh yeah, I'm from New York. I'm from New York City. I'm from Manhattan. It's kind of like, I don't know why you would have to lie about that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just why. Interestingly enough, another netizen comes forward and she says, oh, I had such a bad time too during the hiring process, but not with the nanny, with her daughter, Christina.
Oh.
Yeah. So if the netizens' discourse is 100% accurate, then this means Christina does work at TikTok as the talent acquisition lead, allegedly, and she's supposed to be helping attract top talent. Sometimes she'll do interviews when there's some really big talent that she wants to bring over to TikTok, poach, if you will. I would imagine to some degree she has to be a likable human being. One netizen writes, I was interviewed by Christina. The whole time, she was super unprofessional. She made several attempts to lowball my salary. Everyone I know in the industry that knows her does not like her. So all these things are coming together online, and Christina never reaches out to Dina and Tim at this point. They're posting online and people are putting the pieces together. It appears that Christina, the TikTok employee, is the one that brought her mom through a tourist visa. Allegedly, illegally set it up so that she could find a job in America, which she's not supposed to be working on a tourist visa, lied about a bunch of things, and then Christina's husband, so the nanny's son-in-law, was allegedly the one to drive her to Dina and Tim's house for the job. Now, this is very important because he reportedly, allegedly,
Thank you,
makes
Rodrigo.
almost $500,000 a year working for Snap, the parent company of Snapchat. And remember, Nanny Lou said, my daughter and my son-in-law are executives, high-ranking executives in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
It's believed that together total comp, maybe they make like 7 figures a year. Who knows? $1 million household income. And yet, their mother must work as a violent, abusive,
I don't
borderline
understand
homicidal
either.
nanny. I mean, that's what netizens can't even wrap
Like,
their
that doesn't
minds
make
around.
sense.
Because sure, if you don't have money, maybe you force your parents into a job that you know they're going to be bad at. Maybe you don't know how bad they'll be. But they don't even need her to work. They make way more. I mean, yes, the Bay Area is expensive, but are you serious? The nanny, Christina's mom, can't even legally work. I mean, none of this is making any sense.
It really
So
doesn't.
netizens dig even further, and they find out that Christina had actually posted about her mom way before her being a nanny. She was on these forums on WeChat. So the nanny posts are on RedNote, which is the TikTok refugee app. Then you have WeChat, which is like WhatsApp. And she's posting on there in these group chats where she recommends her mom as a nanny.
Bro, what is
And
this?
she says, I'm recommending a nanny. My colleague originally booked her. So now she's switching it up.
But this is older than Reno Post?
Yes.
Okay.
My colleague originally booked her, but recently she decided to return to China to have a baby. So now it's her colleague, not her. She recommended the nanny to me. Several of my colleagues have used this nanny. She's very clean and reliable, and the daughter also lives in the area. So lots of trust. Nobody responds. So days later, she's in a different group chat on WeChat, and she's writing, wait, wasn't someone here looking for a cleaning lady? My colleague just moved, and his cleaning lady is now available. She's Chinese. She's been working for their family for a really long time. I haven't hired her personally, but if anybody needs her, I can get him to send me the info. I heard she's quite cheap. Their house is a 2-story home, probably 1,800 square feet. The cleaning lady comes in once a week and charges $50. No time limit. Which, side note, that's an insanely low fee to charge.
That is
It's
crazy.
Like,
That's
these rates,
borderline
online were
slavery.
like, these rates don't even make sense, especially in a big city. According to Reddit and other online sources, house cleaning services in the Bay Area, you're looking at $30 to $70 per hour. It's going to take multiple hours to clean a 1,500 to 1,800 square foot home, depending on how messy it is. $50 for the entire place just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
And because it's such a good deal, everyone on WeChat starts asking for the contact information. They're responding in the chat like, oh my God, please, please, please. One person comments, oh my God, the price for her cleaning is lower than the floor. Like, it cannot go lower. It's already on the floor. Please, I need the contact info. What kind of godsend price is this? Christina responds, I'm also so tempted to use the cleaner, but my mom is visiting in the US and she's been cleaning my house. She's definitely not as good and she's got a really nasty temper. I never got to use the cleaning lady for cleanings, so let me know if you guys want the women's contact info. And then she sends the phone number, which turns out to be Christina's personal phone number. And the
Bruh.
person that she's referring is her mother. Which,
That
side
is
note,
crazy.
what makes all of this even more twisted, if it's true, is that, again, Christina makes a lot of money, and on top of that, she works as talent acquisition for TikTok. Let's be pretty real. She probably knows to a, I would say, relatively deep level how advertising works. Her way of advertising her mom is so meticulously thought out and sinister. She never says it's my mom. Because what's wrong with that? You could just say, hey, my mom works as a, as a housekeeper. She would love a job.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. And it also sounds like she definitely knows the mom's problem.
Yes.
Like 1,000%.
A nasty temper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just wait. There's more group chats.
Oh boy.
That said, to everybody's amazement, it does get worse. It said that Dina and Tim, they fired the nanny October 3rd. And October 4th, someone in the group chat is explaining, hey, I still need a cleaner. I still need a cleaner. AKA the nanny, AKA Christina's mom, who is now in China. And they were told, quote, oh, the cleaners are fully booked and they're not accepting any new appointments. There's no more slots available, if anyone's wondering. No, the cleaner fled to China.
Oh, so she knows exactly what just happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
And is still responding like, oh, she's booked. She's all the way booked. But that's clearly not true. So people are digging up all this information within 24 hours of Dina and
The
Tim's
internet is
initial
scary.
expose that's posted on Chinese social media. Now, mind you, up until all of this, from October into November, Christina is not reaching out. They're trying to work with the police. The police can't really do anything because there's no extradition treaty with China. Even with the video evidence, there's nothing that they can do. Christina never reaches out, not once, but within 24 hours of this expose going up, she posts online. Christina posts online. Victims, please contact me if you have been harmed.
What?
Yeah.
That's it?
No, and then she continues. I am Nanny Lou's daughter. Regarding this matter, I did not take the responsibilities for safeguarding the situation, and I did not know nor care for my mother's personal health and mental state. Regarding my mother's working as a nanny in the US, we did not know that this was happening. For the full 9 months that she was here in the US, she did not live with us. She used my Red Note account to post, pretending to be me, and used my cell phone number to contact the victims. I did not know about any of this.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
If you do not believe me, we can video chat so that you can see that I'm not the referral's voice. Regarding this matter, I feel so wronged. I don't know how to fix this. Either it just feels incredibly unjust. With my family's financial condition, I did not have any reason to recommend my mother for her to obtain an illegal job in the US. AKA, I'm rich. AKA, like, why are you throwing this in there? And she's saying, regarding the aftermath, I don't understand why the parents of the child did not call the police right away, but instead chose to let my mother go back to China, and then chose to address the issue by online bullying my family.
Right.
My husband did not receive the messages you claim you sent us. The reason for not responding immediately is, 1, my mother did not admit to doing anything that she was accused of. 2, child abuse is very serious, and it's a crime. We were hoping that the police would handle the issue. On top of that, when the police asked us and inquired about this issue, that was the first time that I saw the security footage. It shook me to my core. After I confirmed the safety of the baby, my first reaction was, is there something wrong with my mom? Like, is she having a mental breakdown? The week that I spoke to the police, we were constantly dealing with the authorities, constantly dealing with this matter. I was repeatedly calling my parents in China, suggesting that they go to the hospital to get my mom's mental state checked out. Did I try to avoid this matter? Yeah, I did. I admit that. Because I didn't want to get in contact with the parents directly. I wanted to trust that the police would handle it. If they were going to arrest my mother, they should arrest my mother. If they were going to sentence my mother, then she should be sentenced. Whatever needs to be done, it's fine. Please, everyone, just try to think in my shoes for once.
No.
If this happened to you and your mom refused to admit this, and then you see the security footage only to realize the truth, besides taking care of your mom, what more can you do? What can I do in this situation? This has already happened. I mean, comparing the damage to the family of the baby that they've received, you know, the damage that it's done to me and my family is, I guess, dismissible.
Kinda,
The
yeah.
impact that it's had on me is, you know, insignificant. I can very much understand the parents of the baby's anger after 2 months, and I also understand that they're not seeking money, but in my current stage, I can't fix my mom, so all I can do is beg for the parents to answer my call. If you don't want the police to handle it, then I'm also open to hearing your demands so we can settle it privately. I mean, I guess who raised her, right?
Yeah.
There's not a single apology in the statement. I mean, this is the hill you want to die on? Like, child abuse is okay, it's not my problem? That's the hill? It's always hard to understand when people decide to be so stubborn and wrong and morally corrupt. It doesn't even make sense.
Like, pick a struggle.
Christina
Dang.
basically complains, for lack of a better words. She did her best. This is not my problem. My mom might be mentally ill. Why don't you let the police handle it? Also, the post is riddled with, you know, me when I lie moments. You know that meme? Things just don't make sense. Your mother hasn't lived with you for the past 9 months. How did she get access to your Red Note account and your phone number to impersonate you?
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the referral post that was made promoting Nanny Lou as the best nanny ever. It was written with a lot of trendy words. I guess, like you would say, more slang.
Yeah.
It's not something...
Yeah, my parents can't even figure out how to make an account. Like,
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Exactly. After this post blows up, more screenshots get unearthed. And I will say, this time around, it's very difficult to validate these screenshots, so take it with a grain of salt. But someone claims that they are in a group chat with Christina. Christina has been ranting about this situation to the group chat. Allegedly, she wrote in her chat that she wanted her mom to work in the United States because she doesn't want her to just sit around at home and do nothing all day. Then she allegedly goes on to write, look, the employer didn't pay enough, so she threw the baby. The child was hit. That was that. They definitely didn't pay her enough for all that work. Anyway, once this turmoil dies down, I'm going to treat everyone in this group chat to a meal.
What?
Another alleged chat says, in a few days, the internet will move on. No one in China even cares what you're seeing. The outrage is just all fake commotion based on what big data is pushing to you.
No.
Let the law handle it. The outrage is going to die down. I mean, what? Do I need to go to jail too?
Maybe you
These are alleged
should.
messages. Finally, someone in the group chat gets fed up with it and allegedly responds to allegedly Christina. You're just indifferent to it? Do you really feel nothing about the videos of your mom abusing the baby? Or are you just like your mom? If this is actually Christina, the account responds, I'm used to it. That's why I want her to work. She can't just stay at home. Whatever grievances that the mom has, like, what does it have to do with me? The worst part is, it is said and alleged that Christina changed her profile picture in the group chat to be of baby H.
Oh, hell no, bitch.
So one person that exposed the group chat said from the beginning to the very end, she never felt that she nor her mother were in the wrong. Instead, she believes it's Dina that's in the wrong. That's her attitude. That Dina and Tim are the reason for all of this happening to her. Her attitude feels very much like, everyone is bullying me on the internet. Like, what does this have to do with me? Why am I getting bullied? I'm not the one that hit the kid.
Yeah, like, even like the very original post, she's saying that, why didn't you call the police right away? Are you kidding me? That's your first response?
Yeah. Oh, and then she makes another post. It almost feels sarcastic. The opening line is, I'm the daughter of the malicious nanny from the Bay Area.
Okay.
This is her second post.
Yes. We have been speaking and communicating with the police about this matter. If the affected family is still unsatisfied and wishes to resolve this privately, please answer the phone. Currently, we have received many personal attacks and threatening messages, which we have reported to the police. We hope that people will stop illegally sharing our personal information. All my explanations and actions to address this issue will only be conveyed directly to the family involved. Thank you for your understanding.
Wow.
People went in. People went into TikTok.
See, what's interesting is
Yes.
she did really good at marketing the
Yeah.
market, right? She understand what the algorithm, what people wants to
Yes.
see, and it worked. But when this happened, backlash happened. Like, anybody outside can see, like, whatever she's doing right now is gonna make things 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Now everyone hates you, not
Yeah.
just your mom, but you.
Yeah.
But because they're not, they're, you know, they're messed up inside, they can't even help it to be evil, right? They can't even take a second to think, oh, maybe I should apologize first and not to play the victim card. They can't even help it.
Yeah.
I find that when people are just really bad people, it always comes out. Even if they're smart,
Yeah.
successful, it just comes out.
Yes. When the tension is high, they
Yeah.
can't. They don't know how to change that.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And people were upset. A lot of people that were on Chinese social media that were on Red Note, they also work for TikTok.
Oh.
And they were reporting her internally.
Uh,
Non-stop. Everybody was reporting her. And finally, someone who allegedly works at TikTok, and again, take this with a grain of salt, said, yeah, okay, so her status right after this whole thing blew up, everybody reported her, was on leave. And then now it's account not found in the internal, employee.
She's fired.
It seems like she was fired. And it's also off her LinkedIn. Her LinkedIn has gone kind of private, if you
well,
will.
fucking
But
hope
it does
so.
appear that her husband is still working at Snap. People have mixed feelings about this. I would say it's like a spectrum. Some people think that the husband, Christina getting fired for her online post is one thing. Yeah, because you work at head of talent acquisition. You're like the worst person to entice people to work for TikTok. You just don't do your job well anymore, right? But with the husband, people are a little more mixed. Some people are saying, well, he didn't really have involvement. That's not his mother. And should his whole life be ruined because of that too? But then other people are saying, he drove her. He drove her to the place of employment. So even if he didn't know that his mother-in-law was abusive, like his wife seems to know, he still knew that she was illegally working. So
But
you're
I don't.
still allegedly indirectly helping commit a crime. Now, as for the nanny, I don't think anything will happen to her unless she commits a crime in China that is different from this, or she tries to come back into the U.S., which I don't think she ever will.
I doubt she.
There
If she's
seems to
smart,
be not
she's
much else the
not
police can do at this point.
coming back.
As of baby H, she has received full body x-rays and MRIs. She is too young to know if there's any lasting impacts from the abuse. It does seem like there were no direct critical conditions that need to be, examined. But I'm sure the guilt, the trauma, and the anxiety of okay, what if, it's still going to be there for a really long time.
Yeah.
The parents say that they feel so much guilt that their baby suffered inexplicable harm for the first 10 days on Earth. They don't even know if their family will ever psychologically heal from this trauma.
Bro.
Regardless, some netizens feel like everybody in the case is to blame, including baby H's parents, Dina and Tim. In fact, some netizens even take it further, and they feel like the parents are the main blame. They say,
Okay.
so a newborn was left with a stranger? Why have a baby for someone else to look after, especially a newborn? Stop leaving your kids with other people. Another
Okay,
reads, I
can we
don't
not?
excuse this abuser at all, but parents should be aware that there are people like this. You really cannot trust strangers with your children. Being aware of that and planning ahead to stay at home with your kids, even for a few years, is being a responsible parent. A few years. It's up to you.
I mean,
to
not
put your
everybody
kids and
can
raise
do
them.
that.
If
The
you
fuck?
can't put your kids before your job, you are not ready to be a parent, maybe ever.
Okay.
Some other netizens agree, writing, leaving babies to strangers is taking chances. Why can't moms stay at home to take care of their own? Don't have babies if you can't provide maternal care. Another reads, popping out a baby and immediately handing her over to a random nanny is mind-blowing. There's a whole thread of netizens agreeing and shouting into the abyss of their echo chamber, writing, women have been doing it for hundreds of years, but nowadays, we don't do it anymore.
Okay,
it's sad
relax.
that our baby's life is not worth it. They have to worry about long-term effects on the baby now because she was, tired. The nanny was tired and abused the baby. I mean, I don't mean disrespect, but it's the truth.
Well, you are
To
disrespecting.
some degree, I think that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But no, I don't think you are. One comment reads,
That's
for those blaming
yeah.
the parents not taking care of the baby themselves, this nanny was actually hired as a postpartum doula. This is very common in China. Postpartum nannies are specifically trained to take care of newborns, so they start their job when the baby is 1 day old. Their salary reaches towards $10,000 a month because of their specialty. The baby's mother is also suffering from major bleeding when giving birth, so she was hospitalized. Other parents just didn't agree with the way the parents handled it. They say it's not the parents' fault, but okay, I understand the point, but why are you not checking the camera footage videos on a daily basis? I would watch the camera every time the nanny goes in, or at least check daily what she does at nighttime, especially when the baby is so young.
Yeah, I mean,
Others are
I
commenting,
understand, but
why bother
you
getting
just
a camera if you're not going to check it, especially
just
in the beginning?
don't
It's like getting a
expect
house
that.
alarm but never setting it because it's a safe neighborhood.
I don't
Others
know.
write, during my postpartum, my baby and nanny stayed with me in my room full time because I was so paranoid. But most netizens are fighting back. They say, in another interview, the mother said she suffered postpartum hemorrhaging and was extremely weak during this period. Dad needed to go to work during the daytime. Not every mom is lucky to recover perfectly within a few days. Can't people be nice and understanding?
Like,
Other
come on.
netizens were more focused on the actual abuse. They say, honestly, I just watched the first 2 seconds and I instantly had to turn off the video. I felt like I was watching someone murder a newborn. It was that violent. Another comment reads, at first I thought she threw a doll. I couldn't
Bro,
imagine she was hurting a baby like that.
the way she
And
was
some
describing it, I
netizens
thought
have
she threw a
focused on the
doll.
question that a lot of netizens have. Wow, so both the husband and wife are high-earning tech workers. Why does the mother even need to take the nanny job? She's obviously a horrible nanny and now a criminal. It just sounds like too much greed. Honestly, for that, I think they should lose everything. Another
Like, I also
netizen
don't
writes,
understand why
the
she had to
daughter and
work.
son-in-law of the nanny should be arrested for felony accessory after the fact and afterwards be sued in civil court for everything that they own. Some netizens disagree, commenting, oh, so we're firing people for crimes committed by their relatives?
I mean, no, but come on,
What do you
girl.
guys think? I mean, it's not
She
just crimes
advertised her,
committed by
bitch.
the relative, though. They got the job, they drove her to work, and then to a degree, we can assume or allege that they helped her flee the country.
Exactly.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Christina and her husband should be held criminally liable for
Yes.
what Christina's mother did and how they helped? Or
Yes.
do you think maybe they should just get fired from their positions? Or do you think only the abuser should be held liable? Let me know in the comments. Also, there's currently a petition for change.org for the USCSI, United States Citizenship and Immigration Service, to investigate their illegal employment and infant abuse allegations. I will link that in the show notes. So with that being said, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.
That's kind of crazy. That is crazy. Alright, well, since the thing that I had later has been cancelled, I shall watch another terrible video. All of my fucking eye product are dry as hell. So I hope that the product that I put in them is gonna undo that. Anyway. Oh my god. I hate things happening to fucking kids and babies. Of all the people, they don't deserve this. Obviously, nobody deserves what Stephanie's talking about, but it's just like they can't even fight back. Gosh darn it, bro. Another short video. Do, 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 do. This one.
Bada bing, bada boo.
There has been a crime in the workplace, and Tim Dickey, the man in charge, has to figure out what the hell is going on. He's got to
Tim Dickey.
investigate. He's sitting down with everybody. Anybody that's heard or potentially saw anything, he's sitting across from them because all
Sounds
of
like
these people
a
could
name
be
from The
witnesses
Boys.
one day, and they all tell him the same thing. Well, everyone talks about them having an inappropriate relationship. Okay, I see. I mean, have you seen anything with your own eyes, or is it just a rumor that you're hearing
This
from
one
everyone,
too.
your peers? Well, I've heard a lot from a lot of others that they're dating. It's pretty clear, though, that she has the power and she favors him. He barely puts in any work and he gets all the rewards. Honestly, it's a pretty gross, massive power imbalance, to say the least. Another person tells Tim Dickey along the lines of, I've heard that they met up after hours, that they have these secret meetings in the night in her car. It's all very hush-hush. But the worst part is, I've heard the rumor that she's actually pregnant.
Oh,
Others say that's not even the worst part. It actually does indeed get worse. They say that they've heard rumors that sometimes he would stand behind her desk and she would pretend to go under her desk to look for something. Oops, I dropped my pencil. Crawl down there, and in front of everybody else in the room, she would
no
quote,
way.
touch his stuff. Not to
No
mention
way.
some of the notes found in her desk that he allegedly wrote. One just reads, "You're
Oh, wait a minute. No. Can I smash? You will enjoy, but 6 feet away, remember? I cannot read that. You are beautiful. You are my one and only. Wow, sexy. Yeah, let me taste you. We're gonna spoon, right? You look tasty. I need you in my worst of time. That is what? That's why I always need you by my side. And fine, one thing is bro, can't. I can't stay mad at you. It's sad but true. I was hinting about you. Right, booty on fleek. Jesus. You are hot as fuck, so can smash fine as fuck, bro. So wait, who wrote this? The boy or the teacher? That has to be the boy, right? Wait. Oh god, this is so disgusting. Fuck.
See, another reads, I want you. Let's smash. 6 feet long. Whatever that means. The
Oh,
witnesses' statements are pretty consistent. But Tim Dickey thinks, well, what if they're too consistent? It's a little too convenient, right? Where he thinks
what do you
all
mean?
the stories kind of sound similar, like they're all just rumors that people have been circulating from desk to desk. But has anybody actually seen anything? It's time to bring in the suspect. They bring in 27-year-old Brittany Zamora. She walks into
Of course,
Tim
she's a
Dickey's
pretty
office.
lady.
She's sitting at the other end of his desk,
27.
and there's already tears just streaming down her face. It does not appear that she's having a good time.
Well, I fucking
Listen,
hope
Tim,
so.
please. There are really only 2 things in this world that I care about, and it's my husband and my career. That's it. Tim
And
Dickey
yet,
is smiling because that makes sense. And she was like one of the first people he hired since he got the job running this place. And she did
he's
win
the
the
director.
2016 County Teacher of the Year award.
Welcome to practice. This is where all you news become yellow turds. Yeah.
There's no way she's essaying and her 13-year-old student in a class full of kids, right?
What?
There's no way she has an 11-year-old boy standing lookout while she essays his best friend in her classroom. Even if Tim Dickey doesn't believe it, the least he can do is alert the 13-year-old student's parents, correct?
Right?
Instead, Tim Dickey sits all the other students down that have reported the inappropriate behavior.
No.
He says, thank you all for coming to me with what you've been hearing in the hallways.
The
But do you know how dangerous rumors can be?
oh
You
god.
can ruin someone's career with these types of rumors.
Oh no.
And he scolds all the students for spreading rumors, and it gives Brittany enough time to target her next potential victim, an 11-year-old. This is the case of Brittany Zamora and what happens when the victim's parents find out and when Brittany's own husband finds out.
Child, 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 child. I don't understand people. Leave kids alone. Oh my god.
We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, also known as NECMEC. They focus on finding missing children, reducing child sexual exploitation, and the prevention of child victimization. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and we'd also like to thank you guys for your continued support. As always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. Disclaimers, today's case has mentions of grooming and CSA. Please watch with caution. The names of the minors have also been, of course,
Redacted.
and changed. So with that being said,
Thank you.
these are all pseudonyms except for the perpetrators and the adults.
Thank you.
Let's get started. Do you know what the pre-divorce stage is? It's when you see 2 people in a relationship, in a marriage, and you know that they're going to get divorced. They just haven't filed divorce yet. They might not even know that they're going to get divorced, but you just feel it in your bones.
Been there.
They are in a stage of
And I was
pre-divorce.
right.
My biggest thing is,
Unfortunately.
I guess it's very difficult to say if you can see when couples are going to get divorced. Everybody's different. But when they are incredibly mean to each other in front of people, I'm like, I feel like a pre-divorce is happening. One netizen says, oh, my pre-divorce signal is even stronger. He's older now. He's seen all these couples come and go. And he says, when I see a divorce coming, and this is not 100% of the time, obviously there's exceptions, don't get upset, people, but he says, when the couple decide out of nowhere, it's not like a big anniversary, it's not their 50th anniversary, 40th, 20th, 25th, out of nowhere, the couple decide randomly to have an over-the-top vow renewal.
Yeah.
Massive ceremony, celebration. It feels like they distract themselves by planning the event, and then after the last guest leaves, party is over, they go back to reality, the marriage is divorce incoming in like 6 months.
Seen this.
Yeah. And he's saying obviously there's exceptions.
There's
to people who
exception,
have
yeah.
Anniversaries, or have been planning it for a long time, or they had a life-altering moment where someone was diagnosed with something and then recovered. Those are different.
Finally.
Yeah, yeah.
He's saying like so random.
Okay.
Another one said, "Oh, I was at a wedding and I knew this was pre-divorce at the wedding. The groom was making a toast to the bride, you know, the woman that he's marrying, and he talked about how he initially didn't like her because she never shut up, but now she's learning to, quote, put a sock in it, and then he jokingly turned and then air backhanded her face. Like, not actually hit her on the face, but like in the air.
Excuse me?
Pretended to hit her.
That is wild.
To the guest's credit, nobody laughed. There's just awkward, deafening silence. They got divorced 2 months after the wedding.
Well, I fucking hope
One
so.
Redditor states that she knew her divorce was coming pretty early on. She says, well, my husband smashed cake into my face at the wedding, even though I begged him for months
Nope.
prior not to.
Nope.
He also introduced me as his first wife at our reception party for our wedding to everybody. He thought it was hilarious. We divorced over the summer. And I accepted.
Okay.
Another Redditor says, oh, yeah, when you can tell your marriage is coming to an end, it's pretty easy. You drive home from work. You come around the corner, and if you see your partner's car in the driveway and feel sad or disappointed, that's the sign you need.
Ooh.
Another ex-wife said, oh, mine was weirder. Right after the wedding, I moved in. And the thermostat that controls the temperature, he put a password on it, and he wouldn't let me have the password.
Oh, hell no.
Wow.
For Daniel, the signs were probably a lot more obvious, but he just sped right past them. They went over his head. Daniel, maybe he likes all the signs, I don't know, which is more alarming. Because the pre-divorce, other people saw pre-divorce, he didn't see anything. He just gets served divorce papers out of nowhere after everything that they've been through from their proposal. Daniel even wrote this long, sappy message to Brittany online about it. He writes, from the moment we first saw each other, we have been falling for one another. So it was only appropriate to ask Brittany to marry me while falling. He proposes whilst on a skydiving trip. And now after 4 years of marriage, she wants to divorce him. She wants to hit him with divorce papers while she's in jail? Seriously?
Bruh.
Brittany states to the courts that she would like to separate from her husband because, quote, our marriage is beyond repair. It's broken, and there is no hope of reconciliation. What defines that a marriage is broken beyond repair with no hope of reconciliation?
I don't know. She fucks kids?
A few years prior, Brittany hands Daniel the phone. This is when they're still married, still living together. Brittany's handing Daniel the phone, and on the other end of this phone is a very, very angry man. He says, put your husband on the phone. I'm more than happy to talk to that dumb motherfucker too. Daniel grabs the phone.
Hey, don't say hey man to me. You got a fucking monster. If I was you, you stupid motherfucker, I'd leave her.
So this man on the phone is telling Daniel to leave his wife, Brittany.
Let me guess. It's one of the
Daniel's
parents.
trying to reason with him.
Man, listen. No, listen to me, you stupid motherfucker. I'll cave your stupid head. Do you want to? I'd love to put my hands on you. Are stupid.
Daniel is only briefly quiet before he says,
God preaches forgiveness, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna preach forgiveness when I put my hands around your throat, you stupid motherfucker. No, you don't get you dumb fucking bitch.
I'll be the same way, man.
No, I would. Well, you better, like I said, do the smartest thing for you to fucking do, you stupid motherfucker. Do not incriminate yourself. Do me that favor. Leave her so your ass doesn't go down the drain with her.
Ooh.
Your woman is a monster. Hey, fuck, do you want me to tell you the whole story? She had another 13-year-old in there watching the whole fucking thing. She's a monster. Do you understand that?
Daniel is on the phone, confronted with the fact that his wife Brittany was cheating on him. But he is also confronted with the fact that his wife is cheating on him by a 13-year-old student of hers. And the man screaming at him on the phone
Is the parent.
is the victim's father.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
This is how he found out.
He claims he found out right before this phone call.
And he was like,
He said God preaches forgiveness. There's an app
Right.
called Sentry, and it lets parents monitor their kids. It seems like
What
kids
does it
don't
do?
know when it's installed. I mean, I'm sure you have to take their phone and install it. I don't know how it works. I mean, I guess it could be used for not parental controls. Just be careful. But it lets parents flag keywords. So if these keywords ever get searched on the internet or is sent via message, whether it's Facebook Messenger, Instagram direct messages or text messages, it'll alert the parent.
Okay.
And it'll show them what platform, and it'll show them the message.
Wow.
So you can flag words like baby or, other maybe drugs, right? John and his wife, they get Adam, their son, a new phone with this new app installed on there, Sentry. And they give it to him because, honestly, they don't feel right about it. They were going back and forth. Do we install the app? Do we not install the app? We kind of feel bad about it, especially because he's 13. We're trying to give him space to still be a child.
You don't get
make
space
mistakes
by
and learn and grow. And
spying on your
privacy.
kids, but I
Adam
digress.
has been acting so weird recently. He doesn't even want to sleep with the door open.
Oh,
They have this whole family rule. Everybody sleeps with their door open. It doesn't have to be wide open. It's just like a crack. You just don't lock your door at night.
really?
And he's so upset by this. He's withdrawn during dinner time. He doesn't even want to talk to them. It's so sudden that they're like, something is going on, and if we don't figure out what, we can't help him. The stepmom has the parent version installed on her phone, and she put all the keywords in, and the day after installing the app, she's just getting ding, 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 ding. Her phone is blowing up. She said, so yesterday, I got the alert. I keep getting alerts, back to back to back to back to back, because the word baby kept getting used.
Oh,
The
hell
messages
no.
in question read, I guess kind of like any other 13-year-old relationship, flirting, I imagine. I don't particularly recall how I flirted when I was 13, but the messages read, WYD, what you doing? On the bus texting you. So Adam is texting, on the bus texting you. Oh my God, you're so cute, baby. I wish you could have stayed after with me. I know, I wish I could, baby. Heart emoji, heart emoji. The person responds, I wish I could hang out with you whenever we wanted. Adam responds, same. I think about it so much. I think about it so much too. Aw, baby, I know what you mean. You're all I think about. It's kind of giving like two 13-year-olds flirting. Another thread of messages read, from Adam, you're mine. Yes, baby. Which again, I don't necessarily recall how I was flirting as a 13-year-old, and I'm sure per parent it's different, how one feels about their kids sending these types of messages. I don't know, perhaps a child psychologist would know better if this is normal development to talk like this or not. But so
I don't
far,
know.
it's not the most alarming thing in the world.
No,
But there's more messages.
unless you know who's
talking.
talking.
And get increasingly stranger. A message from Adam reads, I need more redacted from you, heart. Now, these are obviously not redacted to Adam's parents, but it's redacted in the police records.
Oh,
The parents have seen it. You can kind of fill in the blanks on what it says.
so what does it
The
say?
person receiving the message goes, question mark, you okay? Sorry, baby, my parents called me. Ugh, I thought you got in trouble. I GTG do chores. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. The person responds, ILY, heart. Okay, they're saying I love you. It seems like it's a
No.
more serious 13-year-old relationship. It's getting a little more alarming. Then Adam receives a message. I want you too, baby. So bad. Whenever we can, I'm down. Heart. Like, you for real get sexier to me every day. LOL.
Wait, which ones? Who said this?
Whoever is sending this to Adam. Adam's stepmom says, so I'm reading through the conversations, and I've done this before with other conversations of his as well, but this time at the bottom, she sees something at the bottom of the messages, and she's looking at it twice, 3 times, 479 times, because there is no way. There's just no way. The app Sentry will tell you what platform the messages are being sent from and what the account name is. So it just gives you your handle. So if it's on Facebook, it gives the handle. Or on Instagram, it gives the handle. At blah, blah, blah. And it's at Mrs.Zamora. Adam's 6th grade teacher through Instagram. So she's like, no. Maybe it's just someone with the same name. Or you know how kids are. Maybe they'll make an account for their teacher and just mess around.
Wow.
She first only
Oh
saw that
my
he's flirting
God.
with someone,
Yes.
and she thought maybe this just like a girlfriend.
Yes.
And when she saw that handle, that's when she realized, oh my gosh.
She's like, what the hell is going on?
Okay.
Then she goes on to Instagram and she checks that handle because she's like, again, it could just be an account. You can technically name your handle anything on Instagram.
Yeah.
There's no law. She goes and it's the same spelling, same everything with the real account of Mrs. Zamora. And she knows this because she's messaged Mrs. Zamora too about homework before on Instagram. And the stepmom says, but what even more confirmed it was her first name was used in the conversation. So either
Bro.
she wrote it or he wrote it,
Bro.
and they put So the two were flirting, and
Oh
they
my
wrote,
God.
Brittany, insert Adam's last name. Other messages read, what are you doing? Thinking about your sexy self. Heart emoji, heart emoji. And then Mrs. Zamora responds, "Aw, baby, I wish you were here with me." And she proceeds to send a video, and I don't know why Diddy is everywhere, but it
Not
has
Diddy.
her too.
Not
She
Diddy.
is pointing at her car stereo with the caption, "When the radio plays that good shit, and it's Diddy's song, I Need a Girl." And the lyrics are, "I've had a lot of women in my lifetime, but see, it's not a lot of women that got the right mind. I've done a lot of pretty chicks with all the right features. Cell phones and beepers, you know how to treat you. You break her heart, she'll walk out and leave you." Yeah.
Diddy? When
So
does this
immediately, Adam's
happen?
mom is calling Adam's dad. "Oh, husband, you gotta do something. You gotta come home.
You,
This is
uh,
serious."
why
He gets home,
Diddy?
they confront Adam, and they even see that Mrs. Zamora had sent pictures of her private parts with her chest fully exposed, as well as below private parts, fully exposed, wearing black lingerie that is crotchless.
So the app also
Yo!
shows photos?
They confronted him,
Oh.
and they saw those photos. They tell
Yo!
Adam, "We need you to be completely honest right now. We already know the answers to everything we're going to ask. So we just need you to tell us the truth. Who are you talking to? And have you done anything with your teacher?" Adam quietly responds, "Yeah." He tells them that, remember that one time he brought home that permission slip to stay longer after school to see posters for the talent show?
Oh, hell
That's when it
no.
happened. That's when his teacher essayed him. But it would happen several more times. So now, Adam is texting Brittany. "I want to F." Okay, it's redacted, but it presumably
I want to F you so bad.
"So bad, baby. Those times weren't enough for me."
Bruh.
Adam sends the message, and his dad is standing over his shoulder. The way that Adam's dad describes it, he says, "Sorry to use this language," he says that, "but you're going to text this bitch, and you're going to trap her. You are going to make her tell me everything through these messages." Adam texts her that, and she responds, "I want you, baby. I want you every day with no time limit. If I could quit my job and f you all day, I would."
What the fuck?
Adam's dad probably takes over the phone at this point, I presume, and he sends another message. "I need more redacted from you. I'll give you whatever you want, baby." And with that, they're immediately calling the police. And they start getting these weird restricted calls. Soon after, like a few hours later, they keep getting restricted call, block number, unknown number.
Hey,
unknown number.
NFL.
And they're just sending them to voicemail because why are they getting these restricted calls out of nowhere?
What
Oh
does
my
that mean,
God.
restricted call?
Like unknown number, unknown number, unknown number. Because you
It's
know when
probably
you get scam calls,
her.
they don't want it to say unknown number. They try to make it look like real numbers, but they keep getting literally unknown caller, unknown caller.
She's
They're like,
disgusting.
this is so random.
But they're not answering.
They're not answering for the first few times. Finally, they pick up the fourth one, and it's Brittany Zamora.
Yeah.
It appears maybe Adam had let her know that they had
Well,
to
of course
let
he let her
police
know.
or something, but she calls them.
He's
and
a child.
Adam's dad is not messing around. He starts a conversation.
What type of fucking perverted person are you? I want to know right now. You are a fucking monster. You're a child bastard. Do you understand me?
Brittany, on the other end, has the audacity to say, why do you say that?
No. Why do you say that? Oh, see, I'm a lot smarter than you. I'm so much smarter than you. You
Clearly.
do not understand how much smarter than you I am. I got you. I want you to know that now. I got you. Do me a favor. Do not call this number back again. The next time
Girl.
you will be in court. And make sure you let your husband know that you like 13-year-old boys.
Woo!
And suck their dick.
Oh.
I want you to do me a favor. Do that for me, okay? I am coming for you.
Which, by the way, Adam's parents did, like, everything right in this. They did not say, oh, it's a boy's dream. They didn't do any of that. They didn't victim blame. They didn't victim shame. They didn't get upset with Adam. They took all the right steps.
Good.
I think even in this phone call, he is so... Clearly, has a lot of emotions coming out, which is rightfully
His
understandable.
rights.
But he's pretty poised.
Is it
Like,
though?
nothing he's
I mean, I wouldn't say
saying
he's
is, like,
poised.
uncalled for or not true.
But he's right.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a wonderful evening, okay, you stupid.
Can you explain to me? Can we meet
Girl.
to talk about this? Is there something
Girl.
we can settle out, outside?
Oh yeah, that's what we can do so I can give you a chance to do it to some other kid. Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. No. Miss Zamora, do me a favor. Do not call me back again. Do you understand me? Make sure you tell your husband what's going on.
Side note, in a later report, it says that Brittany reassures Adam's parents that she's not pregnant and that she's very clean from STDs, which, like, what kind of reassurance is
Bitch.
that, lady? I believe she even tries denying a picture that she sent, a nude photo, because it doesn't have her face in it. But the dad tells her pretty bluntly, I know where your birthmark is, okay? I
At
know
this
where your
point, it's kind
birthmark
of
is."
crazy.
By this point, the parents know that he's been essayed. Their son has been essayed by their teacher. They know that these messages have been taking place. Inappropriate pictures have been sent. They're about to file a police report, but they're on the phone with Brittany and her husband. They don't know the exact details
I'm
of
good on
when
you.
these incidents happened. They're going to find out soon. But they know everything that's happened, the crimes that have taken place. And now Daniel, the husband, is getting on the phone. Brittany's husband is on the phone. There's almost this level of frustration that you can feel Adam's dad having, because it's like, how are you not getting this? His fist is clenched. His wife is recording this. We have this whole phone call. We FOIA'd the phone call, and he's just saying she's a monster. Like, do you understand that? Do you understand that? Dude, be smart, you stupid ass. Leave. Kick that out of your house. And Daniel's like, listen, man. No, you listen. You're lucky that my wife is standing right here, you stupid fucker. Talk. You got 30 seconds. Which, side note, Adam's stepmom whispers at one point, he might be a pervert too. Talking about Daniel.
He's right here. Can he talk to you?
And he continues, talk. You got 30 seconds. Don't waste my time. You had the nuts to call me and now you don't want to talk?
I'm gonna read it after
Situation is crazy. I've never
Nifo.
heard of anything like this in my entire life. And I'm sure, as a parent, you gotta be livid, pissed, downright
I want
hurt.
to stab this
You
motherfucker.
trust the system. You trust the system. And honestly, this sucks as a husband. As a husband, I am distraught. Let down. I understand. And I'm sure as a husband, you know how this, what this would do to you.
Well, dude, see, the thing is, I don't get what the monster.
I know. God, it's the worst for me. I pretty much growing up, she's confided in me and told me just now all the truth, and it's man, I'm shaking.
Which, side note, when he says, I am shaking, I don't feel like he's shaking. I understand that everybody processes shock differently, but I feel like this is my reaction to an Uber order getting canceled. It doesn't sound shaken.
I mean,
Well,
he
explain to me
stayed
what
with
she
her.
told you.
As a man, I can't really.
No, I want to know. You said she confided in you. Let me know what she told you so I can tell you she told you everything. Let me know if she told you everything. Grab some nuts and talk to me like a man. What the fuck did she tell you she did to a 13-year-old boy?
It's, to be honest, it's more of just the messaging. And
Oh, so she didn't tell you everything then. Oh, man.
I'm hearing it from you, sir. I'm hearing it from you.
Well, you ain't gonna hear shit else from me. Not a fucking thing.
So what I'm asking you is if you could possibly, just Brittany has been a great teacher for a long time. 5 years, she's done so much for so many students and raised so many people's lives from the ghetto.
That's literally what he said.
From the ghetto. Okay.
Don't even get me started on that.
Wow.
She's been to, parents' homes to talk to students. We've done the tutoring program.
Bruh,
She's done so much.
you cannot say that about a pedophile.
The biggest mistake of anybody could ever make in the whole entire world. But she got invested in a very, very, very bright, smart, and great student.
He's trying to spin this. Like, Brittany got invested in your child because he's so great. Which I'm sure he is, but what?
Yeah.
What kind of advertising, manipulation, scheming?
Honestly, and a great person. And probably comes from y'all, honestly.
He's like marketing her
What
crimes.
is happening?
Bro, what is it? Yeah.
You probably don't even want to hear my voice. And I wouldn't want to hear my voice either.
I'd like to hear your voice when I got my fucking hands around your throat.
Man, if you could put your hands around my throat, man, I probably would accept that right now.
You wouldn't be able to stop it.
It'd be welcome. It'd be more than welcome. This is the shittiest situation in the world that any man could ever be in. As a husband, how would you feel if your wife did this to you? You'd probably be. I know you'd probably kill somebody because.
No, I'd call the cops, bro. The thing is, the difference between me and you is, bro, is that I don't get with women like that, my man.
Oh,
I don't do it. My wife's a good woman. She raised good kids. And your wife preyed on one of my kids. Do you understand what a 13-year-old boy did? Having sex with a teacher? Do you get that at all? You're asking me to forgive
I don't think that happens.
you, Mom. I'm not, listen, I'm not even getting involved with this. You'll know the truth in a few short days. Trust me, I know everything. I know absolutely everything.
And with that, he hangs up the phone. He calls the police, Adam's parents do, and a whole investigation begins, and it just gets messier. There are two main interviews that are done, one with the victim, Adam, and then another hour-long interview with the victim's best friend. The interview with Adam, you don't see him because obviously his identity is protected, but he just sounds so young. There is like a certain cadence that children have. Obviously, some people don't shed it for a while. There's nothing wrong with it. But the way he answers questions is incredibly childlike.
Tell me about a couple things that you like to do. I play football, write, and draw.
The authorities are just trying to understand, okay, how does something like this even happen? Like, she's had to have a certain level of grooming
I think I said
already
thank you.
established in order to send
But if I
these
didn't, thank you.
messages to the victim. And they're wondering,
I
how
have
did you
no
guys
memory.
even start messaging? There's this app called Classcraft.
What is
Classcraft
that?
is supposed to foster a positive school climate and educational outcomes. It's a message board. You can message your teachers and ask them one-on-one about questions of homework, under the presumption that this is a well-monitored communication forum. And likely nobody uses the chat function to do anything but ask questions about school or class times, because let's be so real. What teacher wants to talk to their kids outside of school hours? And what student wants to talk to their teacher outside of school hours?
Exactly.
Unless there's a problem with schoolwork. But Brittany tells her class one day, I'm going to be out of school tomorrow. You guys are going to have a substitute teacher, and I'm just going to be really bored. So if anybody else is bored, you guys should message me on Classcraft. It's not about an assignment. It's not about their project. It's just, I'm bored.
Miss
Adam
Singh.
messages his teacher that day, hi, Mrs. Zamora, and she texts back, hi. She starts asking him these weird questions. Would it be weird if I sent you a winky face? Adam said that he was confused, and he just responded, no, it's just a winky face, LOL. And Brittany responds, I'm bored. LOL, I am too. Come over. And he
What?
says, on my way, car emoji. But obviously JK because he's 13. And
That's crazy. That's how it started?
yes.
Wow.
Eventually, they start talking about the school dance.
Oh,
And
honey.
Brittany is asking Adam if he's going to the school dance, which he just casually responds, I don't think I'm gonna. I might, though. And she responds, oh, Salty Bay. Calling herself Salty Bay. From there, Brittany guides the conversation, and she moves everything onto Instagram. Adam says, I don't remember how it got like really intense, but we would flirt, and she would say things like, oh my God, I love you. And I would say I love her too. And then she would talk about how she wanted to do stuff with me. And I would tell her that I wanted to do that too. He says, yeah, we would flirt a lot. Like we would be at recess and I would talk to her. We would flirt at recess. But then the principal kept getting all these reports of an inappropriate relationship going on.
Wow.
And he said they were all just rumors, and that he told them that they can't flirt or, well, I guess he didn't say flirt, they can't talk during recess because it feels like Brittany Zamora is picking a favorite.
So they were do this in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And people are reporting.
Bro,
this.
what a
This is-
dumbass. And also
Wow.
just
Not
disgusting.
only are people reporting, so the students are, some of them are reporting it to Principal Tim Dickey, but some of them are even messaging Brittany Zamora on Classcraft. There were like 3 girls, students, 13-year-olds, that were messaging her saying, if these rumors are true, like this is a gross use of power and you should really be ashamed of yourself, blah, blah, blah.
What?
Like,
Hey, I've been noticing lately that I have been treating differently from the rest of the class. You let him do whatever he wants, and I don't really think that's fair.
telling her.
And the principal, Tim Dickey, was, like he was trying to protect what? Zamora or
The reputation of the school.
reputation or the school image, whatever it is, right?
There are a few netizen theories, and maybe it's a compilation of all of them.
Yeah,
Some people think that Tim Dickey finds Brittany Zamora conventionally attractive, and
obviously.
maybe he was blinded by that. Other reports say that
I mean, she's
Tim
not
Dickey's
ugly.
reputation could have been on the line because he was an assistant principal at a different school, got promoted to principal at this school, this final school where it happened, And the first person that he hired from that other school that he used to work at was Brittany Zamora.
Oh.
But that
Oh,
could also
no.
be, I don't know if that's because she's a great teacher or if perhaps her conventional attractiveness was, you don't know, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Or maybe.
Either way, he brushed it off.
Yes.
That's crazy.
He just thought, naturally some teachers will inevitably have favorites, and she is being unprofessional by showing that to the other kids.
Yeah. Right.
In today's digital marketplace, getting started with your small business can be overwhelming, to say the least. When my family and I wanted to sell Grandpa Mingo's limited edition art, we were at a complete
Bro,
loss,
why is it so
trying
hard to
to
do
figure out
eyeliner that is
the
equal
online
to
side
one
of
eye?
things. We wanted to make sure that the customers felt safe checking out with us online, that it didn't look sketchy or feel weird. I mean, thankfully and honestly, we couldn't have launched the business without Shopify. Shopify is an all-in-one commerce platform to start, run, and grow a business. Shopify is the #1 checkout on the planet, trusted by millions of customers worldwide and trusted by business owners, including myself. Not only do they make checkout
Like
secure
it,
and
like
safe for
it.
your customers, Shopify's Shop Pay can
Hello.
boost conversions
Yo, I
by up
rarely
to
see you at this
50%.
hour.
Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Selena Gomez's Rare Beauty uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/rotten, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/rotten to upgrade your selling today.
Bro, I
Shopify.com/rotten.
hate eyeliner.
As for the
I hate
physical
eyeliner.
assaults, Adam says it started with her kissing him after school one day.
And then the first time we kissed, like, I was saying bye to her and I gave her a hug and she like started kissing me, so I kissed her back.
He says we were doing a talent show thing, and yeah, it was like when I was saying bye.
And then she's like kissing me and everything. And like she was like, "You wanna go in?" And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "You wanna go in?" And I was like, "Sure." And then like the same thing, I didn't take my pants off or anything. But she was wearing a dress, so she just pulled her underwear to the side. And then I was in there for like a minute and then I was like, alright, I gotta go.
It appears that he is trying to explain that she forced him to digitally stimulate her. It appears. He continues. She said she wanted to give me a blowjob and my stuff was really big and stuff like that. He's telling the police interviewer all of this. And the interviewer has to keep asking him, like, what stuff do you mean? And every time he says it, he just hesitates and he whispers really shyly because he's 13. Peanut. Like, he doesn't even like saying that word.
I
In
forgot
the
to put the
interview, they
subtitle.
go over all the other instances that she wanted him to meet up with her. He says, I told her that I was at my grandparents' house, and she said, let me come over. And I said, LOL, and then I put these heart emojis. And she was like, no, I'm serious. I was like, okay. And she came over. I went to her car. She was parked on the end of the street. She texted, okay, I'm here, I'm outside. And I walked to her car, and that is where she essays him for the first time.
Oh
I
my
think at this point,
god,
people were
bro.
expecting that because we already knew that she had essayed him. So they're just trying to get the details of when and how it happened. I'm not saying it's not unsurprising or it's expected, but it's like when you already know the balloon popped, now you're just trying to figure out how the balloon popped, right? I don't know if the balloon is a great analogy, or like the cake dropped or something. You get it. You already know this event took place. Now you're just trying to figure out how it took place. But the interviewer, I don't think that she knew that this part happened, because Adam starts describing, they have this thing in class called CNN 10.
I'm sorry, you had this thing called what?
CNN 10, it's like a thing that my whole class watches. And I would pretend like I would go up there and press play. And she would stand behind me and I would like touch her. Because everybody would be in the front.
They're in the classroom.
Woo!
Freaking.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Also, my earbuds don't have any battery left. Where the fuck did I put that thing? Bro, I don't understand. People, teachers, people. Jesus Christ. It's disgusting.
insane.
And then according to Adam and another witness, she would have Adam stand behind her desk. And because he's 13, he's, not that tall, I guess. His private part would be below the level of the desk. And she would pretend to drop something or pretend to look for something under the desk. And she would, quote, touch his stuff. There's a whole classroom full of kids.
Wow.
I mean, how could they be so bold? Because they have a lookout. A boy, Adam's best friend, let's call him Brady, he's also interviewed, and he said,
because our whole class watched CNN 10 on the big screen. Ms. Moore always want me to cover to see if anyone's looking.
And they would ask him, was Mrs. Zamora saying anything? They were just doing it. It was very uncomfortable. So that's why the second day they were doing stuff, I just left the room. He says, yeah, we tried to tell Mr. Dickey. Mr. Dickey came and he talked to us saying, well, you guys as students should stop saying these rumors and talking about how can we solve this situation by next time we hear rumors like this, tell the principal, or solve it by telling the teachers. We wrote on a piece of paper how to solve the situation of rumors.
What does that mean, we wrote on paper?
Next time I hear rumors, I will do this.
That's so sketchy. I feel like this principal is way,
Yeah.
I feel like he needs to be investigated or something. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's very sus that he doesn't even alert Adam's parents. It's one thing to think that it's a rumor. Fine, right? I think it's your weird opinion. I don't agree with it. But you should still at least alert the victim's parents.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what's been going on at school. These are the rumors that have taken place. I just want to give you guys a heads up in case you've seen anything. Or alert authorities to investigate because you're not an investigator. It's just so weird. He also doesn't even put Brittany on leave so that they can investigate further. He doesn't do anything. He just takes notes on his investigation, which at this point are as useful as keeping a diary. He also just tells Brittany to stop spending so much time with Adam, and that's about it. But the best friend, Brady, he continues in the interview with the police that Mrs. Zamora started asking him weird stuff too.
And then Ms. Zamora asked me if my thing was uncircumcised or circumcised. And I didn't know what that means. So Ms. Zamora went on her phone and looked up uncircumcised and circumcised things. And she showed me.
She also asked if he wanted to see nude photos of her as well. And he says she didn't touch me or anything. But by all accounts, it seems like she's prepping him to be her next victim. And he is 11 years old. He can't even properly explain the things he's witnessing because he's that young. He kept stating that Brittany and Adam had sex. Now, the officer has to ask him what that means to him, to which he says, it's like they kissed. He also confuses the word virgin and Virginia. And this is Brittany's next alleged potential target.
11, what grade is that?
So they're in 6th grade. Adam is 13, wow. So he might have been held back for a year or two, but...
Wow.
As for why, I mean, Adam's parents want to know, why did you do this? Why risk your whole career and your marriage for what? And she just responds, I asked myself the same question. I just got really close after everything went down, and we're like, how could that happen? We just got so close. I don't know. They arrest Brittany Zamora. There's body cam footage of this. And when they're taking her in for arrest, they're taking off all of her jewelry. And she asks the police, do I have to take off my wedding ring? As if she's so in love with her husband. It's so weird. Mm-hmm. Then right to when she's being taken in to be questioned, she asks if there's any way she can talk to her husband. They say no. They take her into their interrogation room and they ask her all the pertinent questions. Did they tell you why you're here? Did they tell you why you've been arrested? It's involving a relationship with Adam. I mean, I guess I just want to give you an opportunity because there's really little doubt on what happened. And she says, can I have an attorney? You can. Is that what you want? Yeah, will I be going home today? No. They tell her she's going to jail, to which she says,
I'm little, they're gonna tear me apart.
You know who else is little? 13-year-olds, 11-year-olds, to which the officer just straight up tells her, yeah, I mean, if you have problems with somebody, you can voice that to somebody, and if you have problems, they can isolate you. And she starts sobbing, I just have the best husband in the world, and I'm so ashamed. I mean, I do believe calling her a pick-me is the nicest description I can use considering her crimes. But she has this moment where she's arrested. She's handcuffed behind her back and she has to get into the back of the cop car. The cop is like, here, like, let me help you. I know it's a big step. I'm going to help you.
I know it's a big step.
I'm only 5 foot.
Okay.
Wow.
Even when they set bail, they ask her, is there anything you'd like to say? And she goes, I guess I would just really like to go home and be with my husband.
Will I be going home today? No. So will I be in jail?
And so for a moment, because of how much Brittany harps on how much she loves her husband whilst R-wording a 13-year-old, I thought maybe there's a chance that Daniel did an Olympic level of mental gymnastics to somehow believe that she did not do this. I don't know. But authorities found text messages between Daniel and Brittany while Brittany is on the phone with Adam's parents. And he's texting her, cry, seem helpless, be apologetic, a ton. Don't say anything incriminating no matter what.
The phone call you just described.
Yeah.
The whole time Daniel was like, man, you gotta understand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, God preaches forgiveness, man.
And then there's more. Brittany responds, he wants info. He's still asking. He keeps saying to tell him that he already knows. So it appears like maybe he had come home, you know? And he says he's not recording. He's still asking me what happened. He says, don't even hint around anything or agree. Of course he's recording. Say we have to meet because you want to tell him face to face. That's the right thing to do. Tell him you do not feel comfortable over the phone. I know he's not going to like that, but be firm. Do not be gullible and tell him anything. Don't admit to any relationship because we both know there isn't one and nothing happened. Just stupid fantasy texting that went too far. Call me after. Even if he gives you an ultimatum, don't say anything, Brittany. Insist on meeting. He hates you and wants nothing but to burn you to the ground. Remember, I'm getting worried. What's going on? Please don't be stupid and admit he won't meet you. He's recording. No way. Don't believe it. Why can't he meet then? Please, Brittany, don't say anything. What's going on? Tell him that you're going to the school right now and that you have to hang up. Hang up now. Don't say another word. He's going to fucking kill us if you say anything, Brittany. Also, who says he doesn't change his mind? He will say one thing now and you over later. God knows, if anything, or admit fault, he's got us and you're going to be done. I think the usage of us is interesting.
You know, Brittany sounds just extremely, extremely dumb.
And
So-
obviously evil.
Yeah, evil. But he's like, I don't even know what's going on here.
Yeah. He doesn't sound, okay, so a lot of people thought that he's the biggest simp husband in the world. But this doesn't sound like a
No.
simp husband.
Yeah.
And also,
If you're a simp husband, when you find out about this news, wouldn't you be devastated then?
I guess they're trying, like some netizens feel like this is him trying to protect her at all costs because he's a simp. But I think the usage of us is weird.
What's the context again?
He says he's going to fucking kill us if you say anything, Brittany. He also says don't admit to any relationship because we both know there isn't one and nothing happened. Just stupid fantasy stuff. That also feels like it's weird.
Yeah.
Like you never really say like we both know. If you really both know.
And you're saying that he supposedly he found out about everything just now?
Like that day, yeah.
That day, and this is his reaction?
It's very weird. Everybody in this is weird.
It's very weird. It's not normal. This is not a normal relationship.
And that's not to say that Brittany's not at fault. You know, I do see some netizens conspiring that maybe he was pushing her to do these things. I don't really care if he did or not. I think she's the one that did them. Like if my husband was trying to convince me to do anything like that, I'd be like, okay, so I'm going to go to the police station and then I'm going to go find a divorce attorney. That'll be my 2 immediate steps. So, I mean, I don't care. This is not to diminish her responsibility. I'm just saying those are some netizen theories out there. While all of this is happening, the authorities come to do a search warrant on Brittany's house and Daniel is outside. The officer just asks, probably for protocol, you guys have no kids, right? No, sir. I wish now. This is in the middle of Brittany, your wife, being investigated for R-wording her student. What do you mean you wish you had kids? I mean, you want to have children around your predator wife? Even the cops are doing a double take. Like, why do you wish you had kids now?
Yeah.
Oh, so I can have like, you know, I don't know, all of what's going on and I don't know what's going to happen right here, you know? So I can have a little more like pieces of her. Basically saying if she goes to prison, he can have a piece of her.
What?
Daniel keeps going. Brittany has been an awesome teacher for a long time. She won Teacher of the Year. Really? Straight A student all through high school, college, bachelor's degree, and her master's. Ah, that's awesome.
She's impressive. She's been doing so many good things for so long. For the students and the school, she's been really invested.
It's so weird. Some netizens are confused. Some think Daniel is as dense as a forest, or some think that he's somehow involved or knew or got off on what Brittany was doing. Some people point out she would sneak out in her car in the middle of the night to go meet up with the 13-year-old. She's married. She's a teacher. What excuse would she have to go in the middle of the night?
Let's say he just simply loves her, right? But then you found out the love of your life is a monster doing these type of crimes. The fact that you still love her, like into this level, like, oh my gosh, she's the best, she's the best, she's the best. How can you still think she's this perfect wife or whatever?
So crazy.
So that says a lot about him too.
Yeah. And he probably should also not be around children then, because like you think your love of your life is fine after what she did to a child.
Yeah.
You should not be around children. But very quickly, Brittany divorces him in prison. Some sources state that it's because she was trying to protect their assets, because right after all of this, Adam's parents file a lawsuit against the school board, Tim Dickey, as well as Brittany's husband. And he's listed on the lawsuit. I think it was like a $2.5 million lawsuit. They did settle privately, but maybe it's to protect him from, I guess, division of assets because they're no longer together. Some people say, no, it's just Brittany moving on. He stood by her during the entire trial. Other sources state that she was actually very upset with him and felt like all of this was his fault because he kept telling her to tell Adam's parents to meet up. And some sources say that she believed that got her more years in prison versus just like talking to them frank, admitting, confessing, and being remorseful. Really interesting crossover. But the judge that presided over this is the judge that presided over Jodi Arias' trial, also assigned to Brittany's case. But nevertheless, in a statement to the court, she starts, "Good morning, Your Honor. I want to start off by apologizing to the victim and his family. I'm sorry for the undue stress or pain that I may have caused. I'm ashamed of my actions, and I'm completely remorseful and truly regret what took place. I'm known to be a caring, responsible, happy, and thoughtful person." Which, like, sometimes the truth slips out in really almost unnoticeable ways. She says, "I'm known to be," not "I am," which I thought was interesting. The rest of the statement is more of her talking about how great of a person she is.
Prior to this incident, I have been an amazing teacher and citizen. I started programs while teaching to help stop bullying, teach girls about nutrition, fitness, create fundraisers to help with autism, and help families in need.
I filled out 25 plus desks with school supplies each year and even won Teacher of the Year award in 2016. She asks for leniency in her sentencing. If that isn't already bad enough, her attorney just like hook, line, and sinker, let's go down together. Her attorney states that because Brittany's father abandoned her when she was 13, she was struggling with anxiety, depression, and OCD. Her attorney states she's a great candidate for rehabilitation. She wants to change her life, and she's already started that. I have represented Brittany Zamora for almost 16 months, and I can tell you that she is not a monster. Brittany is not a predator, and this was not between a young child and Brittany. This was a teenager.
Wow.
There were issues with this case. For example, Principal Dickey refused Brittany's request to move the teenager out of the classroom. Brittany Zamora implored Principal Dickey to move him because the teenager had boundary issues and was obsessed with Brittany.
Whoa.
I am not making that up. I learned that from Principal Dickey. Odd things that were outside of the evidence that you probably all received. She goes on to just victim blame in a bullet point list. Adam's family filed a civil lawsuit within hours of finding out what happened. So what? Adam had 2 cell phones, trying to imply that he's not the nice little kid that you think he is. Okay, he's still a kid, and so what? He had multiple social media accounts. Okay, so do I. And he had behavioral issues. She's just talking, opening her mouth and letting all sorts of thoughts spill out that she should have just kept in her drafts, in her notes app, because of how ridiculous she is. Everyone in the room is staring at her like this woman cannot be serious right now. Yeah, defend your client, do your job, but what? She confronts everyone. "I see some of your faces frowning."
And this was not between a young child and Brittany. This was a teenager. The teenager had boundary issues and was obsessed with Brittany. The teenage boy was very aggressive. He even was very persistent in asking Brittany about her birthmarks, molars, or anything else that could be an identifiable piece of information.
Trying to imply that the kid is like forensically trying to get knowledge on Brittany to pin her to the crime that she so clearly committed. She also proceeds to read a statement from Brittany where Brittany, the child molester, says, "Good afternoon. My name is Brittany Zamora. After going through the court process for the last 16 months, I can truly say that I have been unfairly treated by the state of Arizona. It's shocking to me how others are so quick to judge based off hearing accusations from only one side of the story. It was made clear to me that the state had already made their decision well before I was given a chance to prove my innocence in any way, shape, or form." She goes, girl, are you not tired? She goes on to talk about how she did these risk assessments, psychological tests, evaluations, and polygraph tests that all showed her to be the highest degree of character. I don't ever think that I have seen a polygraph test where the results just come back highest degree of character. Like that's not even an option. Moreover, I feel like a risk assessment test in terms of evidential value, very low compared to explicit photos she sent him and testimony from the victim. They also try to argue that her polygraph shows that she does not have an interest in children. Again, I don't know what we're trying to get here. The argument just diminishes the validity of the polygraphs. And if that's not the case, it just makes her look more sinister because she's able to pass a polygraph when there is photographic evidence. And with that, she was sentenced to 20 years in prison. The school board and Tim Dickey settle outside of court with the civil lawsuit, but I guess they stand by their decision. Tim says he didn't want to blow it out of proportion, what he thought were just rumors, by alerting Adam's parents. They said that they conducted a 2-day investigation and deemed nothing inappropriate was happening. They have less sense than children. The 11-year-old, Brady, he says, "It's just weird how a 27-year-old can love a 13-year-old and stuff. It's just crazy. She's not a good person." Adam's dad says, "If we didn't have the app and we didn't take all the necessary steps, we would have never known that this happened to our son. And how much longer could it have gone? And how many other boys would she have done this to?" They say it's affected Adam individually. It's affected our family dynamic. It's affected his behavior and his schooling. It's disrupted his schooling. It's disrupted his living situation. We had to uproot our entire family and move. His childhood is already gone. He's 13. He's going to miss out on so many important emotions and feelings when it comes to relationships with women for the rest of his life, all because his trust was betrayed by a 6th grade school teacher. I'm also angry at those who say they think this abuse like this of a woman on a young man is somehow less serious than if it happened to a girl instead of a boy. Every child, no matter their gender, deserves to have their period of childhood free of monsters. And there truly are monsters in the world. As parents, you teach your kids that there's no such thing as monsters at all. There's none. But in the real world, there are monsters. And Brittany Zamora is a monster. What's crazy is there are so many netizens defending Brittany Zamora. They say, "When I was 13, we were smoking cigarettes, drinking, and making other people pregnant. Some of us even carried around knives and messed around with other people." Yeah, 13 years old is young and is wrong, but stop making the 13-year-old look like an 8-year-old. I think for her to get 20 years is insane. If that's the case, you need to increase prison time for other crimes as well that are even worse. Others just write, "Every male middle schooler's dream." Another reads, "Damn, I wish she was my teacher. I would have said nothing." Or, "That's the funnest extra credit assignment I've ever heard of." I will say most netizens are not on Brittany's side. I don't know how true this is. This is just an internet comment. But someone writes, "She was a TA for my English teacher in 5th grade. I vividly remember a male classmate blatantly hitting on her, like the TA, Brittany Zamora, multiple times. And she would just say things like, 'Oh, thank you, you're so sweet,' instead of telling him to stop and how it's inappropriate. Signs were there. She was a creep." What are your thoughts on this case? Let me know in the comments. And stay safe. I will see you guys in the next one.